Hi folks, it's the end of January and our trip to Spain is imminent. Thank God for that, because it's absolutely brassic here, so we'll be glad to get to warmer climes. Hi again. As I said in the intro, we're going on our first proper adventure, an 8-week trip around the Spanish coast. It's currently towards the end of January 2022 and France are now allowing us to travel for tourism purposes, hence why our trip is back on. We were meant to go in early January. We're travelling down to Canterbury and in a few days' time, spending a night in the park and ride there, and then doing an early morning tunnel crossing. We're going to have a steady amble down through France over 3 to 4 days, crossing over at Pamplona and then roughly east to Tarragona to start the coastal trip. Southeast, I meant, not east. If you're interested in the route, then it wasn't devised by us. A couple published it in MMM Motorhome magazine, and if you search for the Long Road South on the MMM website, Out and About Live, you'll find it. To follow a bit of footage, following us as we're packing and making final preparations, then it'll be some footage at the end of each day, a summary of each of the 3 days we spent travelling through France, what the journey was like, where we stayed for each night, etc. Enjoy! It's 3 days till we go away and we're just going to start prepping the van. As you can see, it's very dirty. We took it out the other day for gas, to top the gas up, and it's you know what the roads are like in January, it got fezzing. Just went in the van and it was absolutely freezing cold, so I've connected it up to the hookup in order to warm things up a bit in there. I'll show you in the van because there's still quite a lot to sort out. You can probably hear it, I'll put the heater on because it's so cold. The beds are all still airing and whatever. We've got to make the bed. The garage is packed. I don't know if you can see down there, but we've got everything in, even the paddleboard. We're hoping for some decent weather in Spain, although, you know, I have heard on the Costas it's probably about 15 or 16 degrees January, February, March, which we don't mind as long as it's warmer than here. Somehow I've got to figure out how that gadget goes on the back. Well, it's easy how it goes on. I've just got to sort of put the relevant cables. Started off with absolutely necessary provisions, the alcohol. The intention isn't to take too much because, as you know, it's very cheap in Spain. So obviously wipe all the bird muck off the front window, clean a few of the cupboards, ready for the food. We are, you know, we haven't left it all season. We have been doing work. It's just these final preparations we're going to be doing. So I'll show you us bringing everything in and yeah, getting ready to go. So we're going to get all this lot in, Jilly.
I'll have to come out if I can't fit it in.
Yeah, it'll go in. Quick wash of the van, that's all done now, so on to the next job, which is to get on with the packing. Just thought we'd wash the car before we go as well, just so it's nice and clean if anyone wants to borrow it. Just text me, £50 a day, £100 a day to live in the house. Alright, cheers, bye for now. Day before we set off, just doing the last bits of packing of clothes and tea towels and towels and all that sort of thing. And as you can see, there's quite a lot we've got to fit in. Everything in that box, all those bits, that's my clothes. Far too many, I know, so I'm going to have to throw a few out. That's Jill's clothes. I'm surprised she has got such a small amount of clothes.
I haven't brought it all downstairs yet.
Ah, right, okay. We've already put stuff in hangers and we've already packed loads of stuff. And bearing in mind we've only got a 6 metre van, yeah, we might have to do a bit of rethinking. So we're just about ready to go. We've been packing all morning. We've had the results back from the COVID tests. We've put the bikes on the back and we're just about to set off to Canterbury now. Got the travel coffees, so when we get to Canterbury we'll give you a little view of the campsite there, well, the park and ride, just for your reference. Okay, see you later. So we should get to Canterbury about 5, we reckon.
Ahead, keep right.
Anyway, we'll switch off now. So this is where we stayed last night, at Canterbury Park and Ride. I know it's dark, but we got here in the dark and we're setting off in the dark in the morning. We didn't sleep very well, so we're awake at 4 in the morning. The tunnel's not till 7, but we're going to head off. Just thought I'd show you a little bit of the park and ride area and where you go and pay, which will be useful if you. It's a great stop. It's £8 a night. It's £4 up till midnight, and then £4 for the next day. So when you get here, you'll have to go and pay £4, and like I'm about to do now, because it's after midnight, you'll have to go and pay the other £4. So hope this comes out because it's pitch dark here. But there's a little pay thing here. So yeah, and then it's about half an hour to the ferry terminal. So that was fairly straightforward. You can see the machine behind there. You just put your registration number in. It's got automatic registration at the gate. Pay your £4, tells you you're free to go. So we'll be setting off shortly.
We're on the train.
Wow, this is a bit scary.
This is how you want a motorway, isn't it? Nice and quiet.
It was very busy until we hit the toll. And now we're on the toll road, it's really quiet, as you would expect. We're on the road towards Abbeville and Rouen. Just pulled up at this little air in France. We're not actually staying the night because we've still got another couple of hours we could have driven. This was the plan. It's free to stay and it's €2 to fill your water, but we don't really need water. So we're just getting rid of the loo and the grey waste. But it's a nice little stop. You know how noisy the roads are in France. Not at all. There's 2 places there. It claims to have 4 places, so there must be another 2 somewhere. Next to the cemetery, there's a little village just up there. I don't know what it's like because, as I say, we're not staying. We're going back down the road we just came along. But this place is called Bellemé. And it's about 280 miles from Calais, so if you're planning on doing that sort of distance every day, that's probably it's probably a good stop. But I don't know, it's lovely, but I don't know if it might be a bit quiet at night. We like somewhere with a couple of people. Perhaps I'm being silly, but It's a lovely day and it's only 4 o'clock, and we'd like to get a bit more of the journey out of the way, so we're going to carry on, I think. But interesting for you to see what a typical French area is like. Stop for the night. Not exactly there, we're just draining off, but it's in a little village. Well, small town really, which is nice. Right on the side of the Pays de Loire river, but that car's parked in the third space at the minute, so we've got to hang about until they go. It looks like a popular place for jogging and walking dogs along the river. Path here, little viewing platform over there. For the second day of driving at lunchtime, between Poitiers and Bordeaux, and we've just found this nice little rest place off the motorway. It's got toilets there, and there's also a toilet emptying thing, and it's right off the road. It's lovely. So we're going to spend an hour here because we've been driving about 3 hours, and we're probably going to drive for another 3 hours towards Bordeaux, but I'm guessing we'll stop at Angoulême. It's going really well so far. The journey has been well marked. The guy that we got the route off has really taken time to put it in detail where to go. Roads have been great, some minor roads but really long and straight, so you've not had to slow down or anything like that. We only average about 60 miles an hour anyway when we're putting our foot down, but it's going really well. Hi, this is where we stayed last night. The tap and everything's over there. Nice little village air. €2 with a card on the little machine for your water. As you can see, there's quite a few vans here, but very peaceful night. There's a little pizza place down in the town if you wanted it. We didn't. We're just southwest of Angoulême. I'll put on the screen the exact village, but you can find these on search for sites. Today is day 3 of our travel through France. Today we're driving 280 miles to get to Pamplona in Spain. So quite a trek today, so I think we're probably going to be driving 4 or 5 hours. We'll stop for an hour's break or whatever. And looked at the weather for Pamplona, and it's 17-18 degrees, which is great. It's 7 degrees here and drizzling, so I'm definitely looking forward to that day's drive south today. So catch up later. So we've arrived in Pamplona. We're in Spain now, which is great. The drive down over the mountains was lovely. We're just going to get settled in here, have a little walk. It's a blistering 18 degrees at the minute, and ironically we're parked at the side of some allotments. It's quite a nice air here, and I'll just show you a little look at it. It does look like it's at the side of the road, but it's a dead-end road and a recognised place to stay. Stop for a little rest place on the N332 on the last leg of the journey. towards the Costas. We've got about another 100 miles to go. We've been driving along this road, it's been so deserted, all through the mountains, and it's been lovely. And about the last 50 miles we've been looking for somewhere to park up because we're starving. And this was the first place we came across, and it's middle of nowhere, and it's advertising some, I don't know what it is, stock car racing or something. Bajo Aragon. But we've got the place to ourselves now. A couple of lorries just pulled out, but nice little picnic stop. Sun's shining, about 15 degrees. And we're just going to get on and do the last couple of hours, which should be 2 hours, 100 miles I would think, and it will get us to Vinaròs on the Mediterranean, so we're really pleased about that. Are you ready to get cracking, Jonah? Well, at least the weather's been good to us.
It's lovely up here, isn't it?
So we finally arrived at the Spanish coast on the Mediterranean. It took us 5 days. We arrived last night on the last leg, which was through Spain. We spent a day travelling down through England to Canterbury, then through on the tunnel, 3 days through France where we stayed on airs, so they were free of charge. Into Pamplona in Spain, that was the free air, and then we travelled down through Spain yesterday and arrived at Benicarlo last night. We're in a campsite for 2 nights now, just while we gather our thoughts and get showered and do a bit of washing. Benicarlo is absolutely gorgeous, so we may stay a little bit longer. We'll see.